name's Tom Brown, and I'm a Fairfax County taxi cab driver. I'm giving a presentation called Truth to Power, Part 1. There was a time 4 years ago where this was one big playground for me, with a land of opportunity to make some money if I worked hard. And then all of a sudden, about 4 years ago in this county anyway, a big bully showed up called Uber. And they brought $72 billion and 72 lobbyists with them and turned this playground into a battleground. They have a winner-take-all attitude and growth at all cost. They have never seen a profit. They do half-assed background checks. After Uber did their background checks in Massachusetts, San Francisco, and Maryland, they found a long list of people that had no business picking anybody up on the streets. There's never been fingerprinting involved in working for Uber, nor drug testing. They're under new management, but they still do not fingerprint or drug test. Uber says fingerprinting is expensive and a burden on drivers. So they shifted the burden from the drivers to the customers, to the consumers. Uber's emphasis on consumer rights over consumer protection. As far as the expense of fingerprinting in Fairfax County, it costs $10, a one-time fee for the rest of your life. That's all it is. Uber has a warning about their ride. We'll bring that up at a later time. Uber says they're not a transportation company. They're a technology company. And I'm thinking, I don't think they're mutually exclusive. This doesn't make any sense. This is classic nose candy talking here. They have a non-disclosure agreement with their drivers and riders, binding arbitration. As an example, if a rider in an Uber vehicle happens to be sexually assaulted or raped by an Uber driver, they go into binding arbitration, and they have a non-disclosure clause, so it doesn't go public, so they can protect their reputation. This is very similar to the agreement between President Trump and Stormy Daniels. Incredible. New recommendation under new management. There are no drugs allowed at the workplace in San Francisco or at company functions. It makes me think, were they doing that before? Interesting. Uber is basically a brainwashing machine, and they're price gougers, and that's why they can compete with taxis, because they're offering half price. They have never shown a profit. Now, going back to Eric Holder. Eric Holder, to his credit, was the one that came up with the idea that maybe it's not a good idea to allow drugs at the workplace or at company functions. I'll give him credit for that. But now, because Eric Holder called me a coward when he became Attorney General under Obama early on, called me and everybody else a coward for not talking about race relations, when I'm an expert at race relations, that insult kind of stuck with me. Now, I'm only going to briefly go on race relations, but the key, not the solution, but the key to race relations is mutual respect. That's another topic. Back to Eric Holder. Eric Holder is under Clinton, President Clinton, Eric Holder was the one who signed the Mark Rich pardon, which was so controversial that Democrats raised hell about. That was, something they couldn't even put up with. Number two, he was involved in the Fast and Furious program to allow guns to go into Mexico with the idea of tracing them later. He was held in contempt of Congress when he went there to talk about this. He is the only Attorney General ever to be held in contempt of Congress. When he first came into office, he called us all a bunch of cowards. Very insulting. That's not the right approach to bring up on any topic. And in fact, he took a page right out of Donald Trump's playbook on this one. You're all a bunch of losers. You're all a bunch of cowards. What you've heard so far, and you would like a sequel, let us know this, and we'll come up with part 2 of this.